Awesome music. Each week at this time we do kind of a thought for the day from someone in our community. It can be something about your journey to free thought. It can be some ideas from a book that you've read that you want to share. We do all kinds of stuff. If you'd like to get on the list to do a community moment, please get with me. My email is mike@houstonoasis.org. Right now we're scheduling up into late October. We're that booked up with community moments, so a lot of good stuff in the pipeline. Today, our community moment presenter has been a regular here for a long time, for many months, but you don't normally see her because she's usually underneath the table in the kids' room. She's been an integral part of our kind of child care operation over there and in kids program, and she's just been an awesome part of our community, and she's going away to college soon at the Texas State University, so we're excited for her, but bummed that she won't be here week after week, but she'll be back, and I'm sure from time to time to see us. So I'd like to introduce a first-time community moment presenter, Amber Phillips. Let's give her a warm welcome.
Is it good? Does it work?
Yeah.
I will. Okay. Let me get my clicker going.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so what you just saw was a small taste of the different kind of styles of color guard. This crazy activity that I've dedicated a long time to. So winter guard is a performing art that involves equipment, movement, and show design. As you can see in there, they spin rifles, sabers, all that good stuff, and it's a big whole thing with different costumes, different types of character. It's big extravagant stuff. So there's flag. That's kind of the boring, seen as beginner, but when it gets really good and like complicated and clean, it's pretty awesome. Rifle, my personal favorite. It's just, it's fun. It's nice. And then there's saber, which is really fun. Real metal, not sharp. Get that question a lot. But can do some pretty serious damage. So, we compete in smaller regionals around the country. They host in every state and all that good stuff. But every year they host WGI World Championships, which is international. It is. We're judged in 4 different categories. You have equipment, which kind of has 2 subparts to it. You have vocabulary, which is the difficulty of the different types of stuff you try to do. So like this one, that's called an exchange toss. I toss my rifle, she tosses hers, we turn around and catch each other's. So that's pretty difficult. And then you have excellence, which is kind of how well you pull off your different types of vocabulary. So like this, you see, this is from a camera that's, shooting at whatever, miles an hour, whatever. And it's really like in sync. It's super cool. There you go. Then you have movement, same 2 subparts, how much you try to do and how well you do it. There's 2 of our best movers. They're pretty freaking awesome. And then you have general effect, which is all the different pieces of your show. So the character, how well you portray what you're trying to say, and the different costumes and the flags, and how well the show kind of comes together to make your point. Then design analysis, which is kind of like grading your director, which is how well did you put the show together. And so that one's kind of hard to explain because I don't even really know what it is. All right, so my freshman year we did a show, Nella Fantasia, and it was set to an Italian opera song that talked about like peace and honesty and all good stuff like that. We went to World Championships that year, and we didn't expect to go very far with it. We didn't even book a practice time before our finals run because we didn't think we would ever make it that far, because in the whole history of my school, we had never made it to finals. We did, and so we had to wake up early one morning and go and perform our show without rehearsing before, and we ended up getting 12th out of the 15 that make it. So. We only go every other year to World Championships due to finances. Some schools can afford to go every year. We kind of can't. But it was really a shame because this show is so good. It was called Pearls, and it's about the struggles of women in Somalia and kind of having to come together to help each other survive and all kinds of stuff like that. And it was really like near and dear to all of us, I guess, because they kind of tried to like beat into us that you had to act like you cared for each other and like help each other out. But our group dynamic was so good that we didn't have to do much acting. We all kind of really cared about each other. And so we said we put the fun in dysfunctional family. Let's see. Yeah, we didn't get to go, but it was a fun year. We went undefeated, but even though all of that, I think it's still pretty much everybody's favorite. And then the next year, after we learned how to get all emotional and, cry and stuff like that, we did a show about Anne Frank, which has been the topic of many, many guard shows, Nazis, Holocaust, all that good stuff. It's been there, done that. So to make ours a little different, we tried to kind of focus on the different things about her story that some people might not know, kind of like the hopeful side that she had, and the kind of her desire to like maintain a normal lifestyle while she was still in hiding. Like if you see this picture and that picture, we had a moment where we actually had to be happy because she was talking about how she loved to dance and she would practice all the time in her room and all that good stuff. So we kind of put a new twist on the typical story that you know. Our floor was pieces of her diary, still written in Dutch. We had the flag there, and we all had like numbers. We even had numbers on our arm, and that kind of got surreal. We had a bookcase flag. So it was probably our like biggest message, probably, or so we thought. We got 6th that year in world, so we bumped it on up. But then this year, we all thought that was the last time that we were gonna get to go, but thanks to many of you in the audience who helped donate, we got to go again this past year. And as many of you know, our show is about Malala, who, when she was younger, she just celebrated her 17th birthday last year, so she's still pretty young. But she used to enter in speaking contests, and there you can't, like, women aren't allowed to write their own speeches. They have to be written by a man, and they just present it. And so her father agreed to put his name on the speech that Malala actually wrote. So she would write her own speeches, present them, all that good stuff, whatever. But her topics were always about women's education or something with a stronger message than just like, oh, I'm just reading off this little poem or whatever. And so that kind of, she began to get a lot of attention for that, especially from the Taliban, which is not somebody you really want to get a lot of attention from. So one day, when she was on her way to going to school, their school bus is basically like a pickup truck kind of thing. And her and a bunch of other girls are sitting in the back of it, and they get stopped, and they think it's kind of routine. They've been stopped before by reporters to talk to Malala about, you know, her outspoken opinions and stuff. And this time was different because they got on and they were like, who is Malala? And nobody ever said anything, but a few girls kind of looked at her, and she was the only girl without wearing her hijab. So the guy pulls out a gun, shoots her point blank range right in the forehead. She gets treated by some English doctors who were in Pakistan at the time. They were like, you did your best, but we have to take her to England so she can get better treatment. So they took her there, and that's where she still is, because she's still a big target to them. Although you would think like this would silence most people, you know, after getting shot in the head, I wouldn't want to, I would be like, all right, yeah, I'm done. But she spoke out even more, and she went to the UN and talked about all of this stuff, and like, she is adamant on getting this done. And so that speech from the UN is what you're going to hear in our show.
Performing their program, Malala, WGI Sport of the Arts is proud to present Spring High School.
We are human beings, and this is the part of our human nature, that we don't learn the importance of anything until it's snatched from our hands. And when in Pakistan, when we were stopped from going to school, at that time I realized that education is very important, and education is the power for women. In the developing countries, especially in Syria now, they are suffering, they are homeless now. We want to have children in Afghanistan. We will speak up for our rights, and we will bring change to our world. We believe in the power and the strength of our words. Our words can change the whole world, because we are all together, united for the cause of education. And if we want to achieve our goal, then let us empower ourselves with the weapon of knowledge.
cross-dresser.
This went somewhere. I don't know. So, as many of you know, we took first that year. And I think the thing that really won us over was our strong message to it, because I mean that really like pulls at your heartstrings and stuff, and so yeah. But I think we did a good job of kind of saying that women don't only deserve to be educated, but they deserve to be celebrated.